Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Microsoft File Explorer, copy or move. I'm Hewie Poplock. We're going to be talking about copying or moving a file from one folder to another today. Your computer is made up of brains and file cabinets. Your brains are the memory or the CPU. The file cabinet can be your hard drive, it can be thumb drives, it could be a memory card, it could be an SSD drive or solid state drive. All of those are file cabinets. File cabinets, and inside of each drawer are hanging folders. Inside the hanging folders, you put manila folders inside of them. And then inside of the manila folders are pieces of paper, are articles, are documents, and so on. And then you can have manila folders within manila folders, or subfolders and subfolders. In an organized drawer, it would look something like this. So you can organize your computer files the same way. This is Windows 7, I believe, from an earlier capture that I did. This is Windows 11 on my current computer. On my computer, at the bottom in my taskbar is something called This PC and File Explorer. Both of them get you basically to the same place. This PC is just like one level higher than File Explorer. The older versions of Windows would look like this. It was called Windows Explorer then, but now it's called File Explorer. It looked like this, but it hasn't changed a whole bunch. And if you opened up the whole computer, it would look like this. In Windows 11, this is what it looks like with the ribbon at the top. Of course, ribbon at the top was introduced in 10, so you did see that in 10. Let's take a look at Windows 11 because that's the computer that I work with, and it's easier for me to make screenshots to show you. When we open up this PC, this is what it looks like on my computer. Now remember, there are a lot of ways in which you can show the information in File Explorer, and to show you all the different ways in which we can do that will be another tip. Right now we're just talking about copying and moving a file from one folder to another. And this is the file in a particular folder that I want to copy to another folder. And this is the folder I want to copy it to. It's empty. There are different ways in which you can do this. Back in the earlier days of Windows, I used a program called Norton Commander or Xtree, and it would have two instances of the files, or two instances of the file manager, and you would be able to just click and drag it or move it from one to the other. And that's the way I got used to doing it, and I could still do it that way. And the way I would do it would be to hover over the bar at the top right and choose the side-by-side. In Windows 10, you can just snap it to the sides. So I snapped it to the side, so I've got two half screens, one with the view that we're doing, and then I can put whatever I want in the other. So I put a second Windows File Explorer, and then I could just either drag it or copy it from one to the other. But that's a more difficult way to do it. Another way to do it would be to right mouse click the file that you want. When you do, you'll get this menu, and at the bottom it says Show More Options. When you show more options, you get this. One of the things you could do is you could copy the file, go to the folder that you want to put it in, and paste it. That's not one I do recommend, but it can be done. What I do is, if I left mouse click and dragged it to the folder that I want on the left side and let the mouse key go, it would drop in there automatically. If I right mouse click and then dragged it, it would work differently. When I click on the right mouse button and then let go when I've moved it over the folder that I want, I get a menu. I recommend doing it this way with the right mouse button, because if you drop it in the wrong place, you don't know where it is. This way you have, number one, you can see where it's going, and two, you can also decide what you want to do. Do you want to copy it here? Or do you want to move it here? Or just create a shortcut? Now notice that the move here is bold. That means the default is move here. So if I used the left mouse button and dropped it there, it would move it So what moving is, it's copying it and then deleting it from the other place. So I could copy it or move it. And when I right mouse click, I have a choice to what I want to do. And I can also cancel it. So if it's not the right place, I can cancel out of what I'm doing. So that's why I recommend using the right mouse button. Now, the reason it's highlighted is because that's the default. Now, what makes it the default? If you're moving it from one folder to another on the same drive, it'll default to move. If you're copying it from one drive to another drive, the default will be copy. So when I move it, it is now in the new folder, which was empty. It's that easy. Microsoft File Explorer. Copy or move. I'm Hewie Poplock.